All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakah, Kodah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations and much love to Yakim out there pushing out his word and truth and sincerity. And as you see, the videos entitled "America is Divided," and you got a lot going on right now here, just here in America, let alone the whole earth. But we're just gonna begin, start off on, speaking about the division in America.
I got that real quick.
Can I go ahead?
This is Mark chapter 3. I'll start at verse 23. It says, I'll start at 23. Mark 3:23 says, and he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand.
Yeah, because if you read up a little bit, I believe that's the account where they were calling the Lord Beelzebub, or they were pretty much saying he had a demon, or he was casting out Satan in the name of Satan. Yahweh shall reply, how can Satan, cast out Satan? If a kingdom be divided, how can it stand? So that it don't work like that, man. If a house be divided, then it's not a house, man. And that's what's going on here in America. You have the Edomites against other Edomites, man. You got the Republicans and Democrats against each other, at each other's throats. Thanks to Donald J. Trump, DJ Trump. All right, because here it is that they got this whole impeachment nonsense on the mainstream media. Which who knows what's gonna come out of this? We'll see, but nonetheless, if he do get impeached, this is gonna cause a damn uproar through America, man. These proud ass Edomites that love, because don't get it wrong, a lot of people don't like Trump no more, but he's still got a fan base, man. He still got that strong fan base, man.
Shit, hey, all the Edomites at my job are for Trump.
Hey, shalom.
Yo, shalom.
Okay. But you got these hardcore fanatics for Trump, and then you got these that are against Trump. But they're the same people, the ones that claim to be, which is, we understand what it's all a bunch of nonsense. It's two sides of the same coin, but nonetheless they're divided. Keep going on that.
It says, verse 24, I'm going to read it again. It says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. Verse 25, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. You want me to keep on?
Maybe there's more on there.
Well, because I want to stop at that verse 25 real quick, because we talking about, it says, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. When you think about it in the sense of the different nations, all right, when you narrow it down to who's ruling the earth, we know it to be Esau, Edom. All right, and the house of Edom is against itself, not just here specifically in America, but throughout the whole planet Earth. You got America versus Russia. All right, you got all these Edomites against themselves, man, and that's another clue to let you know that these people ain't gonna be ruling much longer, man.
And you have the beast beginning to hate the whore, which is the beast consists of the Edomite nations,
Yep, exactly.
Nations. And I got Luke. This is pretty much going into the same thing. This is Luke 11 verse 17. He said, and it reads, but he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And now, isn't America a kingdom? All right, we have ultimately, Esau's in power. We understand that this is his kingdom, but a kingdom as a whole, this is America is a kingdom in itself. Really, it is the pinnacle of the kingdom of Esau's kingdom right now. But what, like in Jeremiah 28:8, it says that prophesied against many kingdoms. It says every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. So if you consider yourself to be a God-fearing Christian, as they say in the churches, then according to what the Bible says right here, It says every kingdom divided against itself, America being that kingdom, is brought to desolation. So if you believe in the Bible, according to the Bible, America is going to be brought to desolation because if it's clearly divided. And it ain't no way in hell you can say otherwise. All right. It going on, it says, and a house divided against a house. It's like, and a house divided against a house falleth. All right. There you go. This place is through. All right. The mom. This place is you can cut the tension with a knife in America, man. It's so thick. Okay. Go ahead, brothers. Yeah, I can take it.
Isaiah 19:1, it says, the burden of Egypt. All right, and we know pursuant to Revelation 11:8, this is that spiritual Egypt, America. All right. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. All right. And the Lord said He's gonna set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, man. So these the modern day Pharaoh, all right, is a so-called white man. And when it says the Lord will come in as a cloud, we all know what that's talking about. Okay. The Lord will ride upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. All the other gods, all the other idols, all right, that they worship, all right, the Lord is going to cast all those false entities down, right? Because what? The Lord is the only living power. But the point was, the Lord is going to set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, all right? The neighbor against the neighbor, okay? They tell you that in 2nd Esdras, okay, that, the Lord pretty much, it shall be sedition among men invading one another. Okay. And the Lord also said He will plague Egypt with plagues as once before. Okay. So the Lord is setting Esau against Esau, going against, pretty much laying backing off that precept that you brothers brought out. All right. That, house divided. And, clearly this house is divided, and it's the spirit of the Lord really pursuing back to Deuteronomy 30:7. These curses falling upon Esau, Edom, man. Okay.
Hey, and real quick, if you may, Bubba Kashar, brother, read that verse 3.
This is verse 3. It says, in the spirit of Isaiah 19:3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards.
So it said, so continuing on from that last verse that the brother just finished reading, it says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail. So again, going back to the two scriptures that me and the brother Ash brought out, this place is being divided through the Heavenly Father, and it's going to fail, man. It's going to be brought to naught. All right. And real quick, I want to bring out a word in that precept. It said, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. I'm going to get that word counsel there. All right. Because this is what the Lord is slowly but surely doing. All right. This is the word counsel, and it's itazah. All right. And it says counsel, advice, purpose. And when you go down to the Strong's definition, it says by implication, plan. All right. So the Lord is destroying the plan of these devils by putting them against each other. And that's what's beautiful about this is the Lord is putting the devil against himself to bring about the demise of his own plan, which ultimately goes back to the Lord putting it in their spirit. But nonetheless, the deceiver and the deceived is his. So they believe, these Edomites really believe that this is something that they've created, this plan of the New World Order that they're trying to bring about, which is not going to happen because they're going to destroy each other, man. All right, I just wanted to make that quick point.
Yeah, I got some real quick. You was talking about, Yahweh Shai is the one that's authoring all this division. This is Luke chapter 12, and I'll start at verse 51. Suppose ye that I come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division. And that's the spirit that's going on around this earth, division, and everybody's pretty much taking sides in their teams. Just like you have pickup on a basketball court, everybody's joining on a team that they pertain to. You have the LGB, whatever, A, B, C, D. All right, you have the rich and the poor, okay, because the Lord is a power of balance. All right, and He tells you that He's made 2 and 2, one against another. All right, and as times are heading into now, people are cleaving on to their lights. Just like the bluebirds with the bluebirds, the redbirds, everybody's cleaving on to the ones that they resonate with. And that's pretty much because they're in a time of war. Again, people are joining their sides to their teams. And that's what's happening throughout this earth.
And when you go to prison, prime example, division, and that's what happens during time of adversity. All right, as said in Isaiah, I believe the 13th chapter, the 14th chapter. All right, where it says everyone shall cleave unto his own people or go back to their own land.
Yeah.
All right. That's what happens during turmoil, okay, or during civil unrest or whatever. Everybody cleave unto themselves, man, and that's the way pretty much the Lord intended on it to be. Israel with Israel, Moab with Moab, Esau with Esau. You know what I mean? And how that's gonna come about is when the Lord really bringing this sedition amongst men. All right, in these upcoming civil wars. Okay, and that's when people gonna stick to their kind, their own likeness. Okay?
I got a quick precept for you to back you up on that. This is Luke 12:51. It says, "Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division."
Yes, Hey, I'll keep reading more. Down.
Hey, real quick, Salaki, real quick, Bubba Kashar, if I might speak on the precept the brother just brought out. All right, because you see, the Lord said that's what He was getting ready to bring. All right, the Lord said that He was going to bring that division. All right, so that's exactly what we see happening on planet Earth, man. All right, when you see certain sects or certain groups going up against each other, like you have Christianity, and all these different groups, like the Apostle Tahar said in one of his earlier videos today, they don't all agree on everything, man. They don't agree on I forget exactly, it's escaping my mind exactly what the Apostle said that they don't agree. The Trinity.
The Trinity.
Kind. Yeah, they all Christians don't agree all on the Trinity, man. They're against each other. And what also the Lord said that they of their own household shall be your enemies, right? And the Lord is bringing division amongst your own people's own homes, man.
I'll keep going on that. This is Luke 12:52. From henceforth there shall be 5 in one household, in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father. And if I may add real quick, that could be, let's just look at the example now with Trump, man. You could have a father that's all about Donald Trump, and then you could have his modern, liberal son that's not for Trump, man. He's a hardcore right wing or whatever the hell they call him. He's a hardcore Democrat. And the Lord's divided them through that, man. And really, did people think, so it's just Donald Trump? No, really, it's the Lord causing division, man. Mm-hmm. So how much more on America as a whole scale, and then how much more on the whole planet? Let me keep that 53rd verse off. It says, "The mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law." So everybody against everybody, man. Or that Jackie Moon spirit is out the window, man.
Yep. Hey, and again, this is what the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, is bringing. This is how we know that this is the doing of the Heavenly Father, man. So we're not going to sit here, the men of the Lord, all right, Lord willing, us brothers are a part of that number. We're not going to sit here and try to fight against it, man. We're just going to sit back and we're going to watch you people eat each other alive. All right? Because this is all of the Heavenly Father, and it's to bring about the demise of this world. Okay? But go ahead, Michael Allah.
Yeah, that was it. But Austin Spirit grabbed what I was reading from.
Oh, okay.
I got a precept real quick. Yeah, because you brothers were speaking on this. I just wanted to pull out 2 verses in that 2 Ezra 15, talking about the sedition among men, but you talking about this division. So what we're seeing going on right now is we'll read 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 18 and 19. It says, "For because of their pride, the city shall."
Start at 12.
Go ahead.
Start at 12.
All right, Khan, that's the spirit. It says, 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 12. "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail with a fearful constellation." Well, brother, you want to break it down?
Khan, Egypt shall mourn. As we went to, this is modern day Egypt. The Lord said He's gonna spike Egypt with plagues as before, and it says, "They that till the ground, they seed shall fail." Now you know out in the Midwest, the Lord's been plaguing Egypt with the crops. The farmers either it's been too hot, either it's been too cold, or too much flooding.
They had that, yeah, they had that blizzard out there not too long ago, and those fires out there in California.
Khan, hey, and California produced a lot of U.S. agriculture out there in the Midwest. All right, you know that's where you get most of your wine from and shit. California. Okay.
He also real quick, like you mentioned the Midwest, they had a record-breaking floods in the Midwest, which is a bunch of plateaus, man. So that's the Lord bringing those plagues like He did in Egypt, like the brother had quoted earlier.
Yep. So the seed shall fail, man. So there's gonna be a food shortage here, all right, shortly here in America, man. The Elder Malcolm will be going into that. You know, it's gonna be a food shortage here because the Lord is plaguing Egypt. You know, because how you plague something, pretty much same way the U.S. government do to U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
You make them so they're not self-sufficient, man. All right. They can't produce on their own, so you pretty much hit the foundation, so they can't be self-sufficient, man. All right.
Real quick, like that's how different empires would besiege Israel throughout different captivities. What they did would besiege, meaning camp around them, so nothing can come in, meaning no food, no resources could come in or out. And that's what the American government can easily do nowadays. Shit, all they gotta do is just stop the trucks, and that's it.
And with America being at war with these other nations, nobody ain't gonna be importing shit here. When a third world war kicks off, nobody is sending aid or sending food to other nations, and because ultimately the famine is the loss of access to the resources. That's how the famine is brought through. All right, because nobody is shipping, nobody is trading. All right, that's how that famine is brought about, man. All right, that pretty much that grinding ceases, man. Because if I'm at war with a country, I'm not going to be sending them food and selling them stuff. You know what I mean? So I just want to say that real quick. Go ahead, Dada.
Hey, but you also have the trade war that's also affecting the agriculture over here as well too, man. And this is why a lot of the farmers are committing suicide right now, man. You have all kind of extreme weather, you know what I'm saying? And plus Donald Trump on top of the trade war, all right, and which is actually hurting the economy, is making a lot of people not want to deal with America, man. So this is rapidly, and not to say it's rapidly coming, man. It's here already, man. Yeah. All right?
Yep.
But continuing on, verse 14, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power."
Yeah, and that's what you got taking place. That's what you got taking place on all these other nations right now. Sedition, all right, meaning revolts, uprisings, okay, against who? Against their governments, all right. And it's gonna come a time, then it's gonna come here to America, and for the lack of bread, people are gonna be invading one another because that's really, look at what's going on here when Popeye's chickens run out of sandwiches. Food, she can go to any other place to get food. So imagine when there's no food. It's gonna be, and especially here in America where people are accustomed to eat every hour of the day, damn near. So these not third world countries, but these lesser countries, all right, they're like Venezuela. Let's take Venezuela as an example. What happened when they couldn't afford no food, man? You saw the dude. I remember Apostle Ramla had did a video about the dude. He said, "Look, if I gotta kill somebody to feed my kids, I'm gonna do it." So what do you think is gonna happen here in America, man? The sedition among men, and they ain't gonna listen to the governors or come down here. We're gonna, no. Them people are gonna take matters into their own hand. That's why I said the course of their power shall. Read it again, Bible Shaw. Well, read the whole verse again.
Khan, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
That's right. So the course of their action, meaning they're gonna take matters into their own hands. They're not gonna care about what Trump got to say if he's even in the White House when this all goes down. They're not gonna care what your local mayor got to say, your governor, none of that. They're just gonna take actions into their own hands. All right. Did you read okay, keep going, keep going. Unless somebody got something. If not,
yeah, well, I was gonna just add on to what you were saying about the overthrowing of the government and how that could come here. You already see it boiling right now with, how the so-called black people, I'll use that for a term, how they all saying that we have got to vote Trump out. We got to do whatever it takes, man. It's just like tomorrow's not going to come if Trump is still in office, Then you got the other side where it is like, no, we can't let Trump get out of office, man. So either way it goes, man, you see this is what's going on. So if Trump wins the election, hey, Jake seeming like they want to go on riot. It's like, no, we're not accepting that. And if Trump don't stay in office, same with his so-called followers. So, I mean, we already on the brinks of that, plus with economic collapse and all these things we're about to go into, man. I mean, so this is like a domino effect just waiting to be, knocked over, man.
Yeah, and most importantly, Esau's you got Edomites saying that Trump needed to be impeached. He saying that he needed to get the hell out of here. So that's the greatest sign that the Lord is showing us that he's breaking Esau's kingdom down. Here it is, America's supposed to be the greatest place to live on the planet, but you got people that run the country divided against themselves. You got the White House, against what did they was it the Congress or the House of Representatives, the House as they call them, which is ran by the Democrats right now. So they're not going nowhere, man. They're not passing nothing, man. No laws is getting passed really. Okay, no bill stimulus packages is getting passed because what is Democrats against Republicans right now, man. And that's how the same way the ancient Roman Empire fell against the plebeians and the patricians, man, button heads. And it's the same shit once again. Ain't like the scriptures say, ain't no new thing under the sun. It happened before and it's happening again before our very eyes, man. The bread and circus acts is at an all-time high. All right. And then look, they're trying to confuse everybody. All right, or try to distract everybody with their nonsense. All right, come here to Disney World and have a jolly old time, $300 package for you and your family. But meanwhile, there's uproars of people throughout the whole planet, and the shit's getting horrible here in America. People just haven't woken up and smelled the fresh air yet. All right, it hasn't hit home yet, but it's already here. It just haven't been amplified and hit your doorstep just yet. All right. But it's going to come because look, the Lord is setting up these precursors around the world, man. Like the Apostle Tahar said, man, there's over like 40 wars, all right, like 15 plus uproars, revolts of their own governments, civil wars, okay? And it's just a matter of time before it comes here to America. And it's really already here. It just hasn't exploded. You ain't got people fighting against the cops like in China, all right, Hong Kong, all right, like in France. And really, that yellow vest protest has spread through Europe, but that's coming here to America. Okay, that 16th verse, 2nd Ezra 15 and 16, man. That's people are gonna live through that here in America, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Art.
Hey, I was gonna say you got a lot of different catalysts that's just ready to go, man. From the economy, you know what I'm saying. So the stock market, the currency itself, man. All right. You again, the political spectrum, all these different things, man. People are on edge right now. You got places like Skid Row out in California with all the homeless people, man. All right, people living in their cars in the parking lots and things like that, man. Hey, people are all on edge right now, man. Things is just about, it's about to be an all-out purge here, man. All right. But continuing on, verse 17, 2 Ezra 15 and 17, a man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. For because of the pride of the city shall be troubled, houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Yep.
And a man shall have no pity upon his.
Hold on.
Want to say something?
Yeah, of course. We got to break these scriptures down. This is said, a man shall desire to go into a city. What's that gonna? Why is that? Because he ain't gonna be able to. It said it shall not be able. Because what? There's just gonna come a time where it's gonna be martial law. Okay, it's gonna be where they blocking cities off, blocking main roads off, curfews. And it's not. This isn't science fiction. Okay, this is happening around the world as we speak. Okay, there's curfews around the world. There's martial law around the world. People can't leave their damn cities. They go to work and they got to get right back to the crib. If not, they out by a certain time. You liable to get beat down to death, man. You might be, who knows? But this is gonna. So how much more here in America, man? When these people that are patrolling the streets of America, when the scripture that brother just read, these who whoever is patrolling, they ain't gonna have no mercy, man. These people, you already see what happens right now. They don't have no mercy on you now. Well, imagine when they got the green light to kill anybody on sight if they don't comply. Okay, and then it said because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. America's the proudest place on the planet Earth. All right, that's why these, especially these major cities, New York, Los Angeles, okay, Las Vegas, Atlanta, Miami, Dallas. Okay, Chicago, all these major cities in America, man, they're gonna be greatly troubled. It's out the. I even throw Tampa, St. Pete in there, man. They got one of the biggest pride praise. Okay, so these places are gonna be greatly troubled, man, because of their pride. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Because what? It's gonna be. Because, think about it. If people can't leave their own city, where you think they're gonna go for food? Once the food runs out, nobody. We just literally mentioned this not 10 minutes ago. All right, about besieging a city. What happens when people besiege a city? The people get desperate inside of that city. The people, you had accounts where people were eating leather shoes, eating their babies. All right, so why do you think they're gonna be ravishing? Destroying houses and men afraid? Because you're gonna be scared to leave your own household. Because what that you are liable to get put to death because everybody else is looking out for their family. All right. And then it's going to come a time where people are going to start saying that the hell with my family. I need to survive myself, man. Eat your kids, boil them up. You let 2 days go by and you haven't ate a square meal, man. You're going to start looking at your auntie like a Popeye's chicken sandwich, man.
I got a precept, to back it up. This is Isaiah chapter 9, and I'll read 19 and 20. Isaiah 9, verse 19. Through the wrath of Yahweh Shai of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of fire. No man shall spare his brother. It's pretty much going into great adversity. All this false unity. You like the Warriors. You like this and that. That's the only thing really keeping people together is these folly days, or your brothers going into the bread and circuses. There's no type of unity in this nation. And again, going into adversity. That's why scriptures say, you cannot know a friend in our prosperity. You know him in his adversity. So everybody's not going to have. That's why the brotherhood is a beautiful sanctuary, because who else are we going to trust in these days to come? These people don't live by any type of moral code. They don't have any type of standard. They're just out there, living day by day, doing that do thou will spirit. That's why they're going to be completely lost their mind in this time to come, because they don't have the wisdom and knowledge that's going to be the stability of that time. But it's Isaiah 9, verse 20. And he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. So going into cannibalism, going into people becoming desperate, because there's literally going to be nothing to eat. You're going to see your pet, you're going to start eating, like brother's saying, leather belts. You're going to start eating your plants. People might, again, going into people eating each other's own arm. These are things that people probably joke at and hear, but you don't know until that you're put in a situation, especially these unstable-minded people. They're going to be hallucinating. doing all type of men and things to just survive.
All these parasites in their brains and shit.
Exactly.
From eating all this pork and abominable foods.
Mhm.
Parasites, hungry. So
Yeah.
shit, these people gonna start bugging out, man.
Yeah. Hey, what about the all the medication? When the medication runs out, people are fucking freak out, man.
Hey, the drugs, the medication, and the alcohol. People who accustomed to those things on a daily basis, man. Hey, man, that's a sight to see, man. People on, especially, well, I ain't gonna say especially prescription drugs, but whether prescription or street legal, but not street legal, but street drugs. Hey, man, you see people trying to get off heroin and stuff, man. They go through those withdrawals. You know what I'm saying? Or people that's on, regular medications that they've been taking for, months on end or years on end or whatever, whatnot. They don't get that medication, man. All right. Or people that's just going through alcohol withdrawals and things like that, man. All right. They're not going to have pity on these people, man. All right. But I wanted to speak on verse 18 because like these was verse 18, 19 was the ones that I wanted to speak on in this precept. But it says, because of the pride of the city shall be troubled, houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Just to add to what the brother Ash was going into, man. You already have this divide going on right now, man. You have, with Jake and Esau going on right now, man. Jake really don't want to see Trump in the office. They trying to basically on a low level try to have a Jake over, you know what I'm saying? But on a low level, black excellence, black, all that type of shit. And then Esau on the other side, he know that his kingdom is falling, So you have these, how they call them, white supremacist groups and shit like that in the secret and whatever, whatnot, They know that this is their last stand, and they really, really hot right now, So they like, yo, we got to support Trump. We got to do whatever, whatnot. These people real hardcore about this shit, man. And so, like, when these things start to come to pass, wherever the outcome of these elections are, you know what I'm saying? These people going to be hot, and then how they walk around with these MAGA hats. You know what I'm saying? If he get the green light again, you know what I'm saying? They going to get the green light. Like, yo, we might just start rolling on Jake. And if not, hey, Jake going to be like, nah, we finna go roll on y'all. We ain't, we're not going to roll like that no more, So, hey, this thing is good and prime for this here situation to unfold right here that we're reading in the Second Esdras, man. All right. But going back to Second Esdras 15 and verse 19, and a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for the lack of bread, man, that's that. It didn't say for the lack of entertainment or the lack of this or that. It said because the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So what? That lack of bread is gonna lead to that great tribulation, man. When people and what's gonna help push that out, man? The mark of the beast. Because you ain't gonna be able to buy or sell. So that's gonna lead to a lack of bread in itself, but. The lack of bread, man. People, you really ain't seen the worst of somebody until you seen them starving to death. Okay, somebody starving to death is liable to do anything, man. He'll eat his own mother. As far as these bugged out people in this world, they'll do whatever it takes to feed themselves.
Just look at the behavior of a crackhead.
Yeah,
they'll steal from their own mother's purse just to get that crack.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, but
go ahead, you got it.
I was gonna say, just like you was just saying in the scriptures saying that tribulation, like the brother Mayan was just saying, like, yo, look what a crackhead do. That's what I was saying, yo. When these people run out of their drugs, their alcohol, and the other little shit that they do, man, prescription drugs, regular drugs, and their alcohol and shit like that, man, these people are gonna freak out, bro. It's gonna be like the zombie apocalypse. Hey, that's why they keep showing y'all that shit, man. These are the Walking Dead going on around here. When they ain't got their drugs and shit like that, yo, they're gonna be going around like straight up zombies, man. Just a cannibalism, man. You see these people literally, bro. Look at people trying to get off heroin and stuff like that, and listen to people talk about getting off lean and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Listen to these rappers talking about what it's like getting off lean and the type of demons that you know what I'm saying they go through and stuff to get that up off of them, man. Just imagine everybody doing this all at once, man. And you have a whole city doing this all at the same time in the same place, man. Everybody trying to get their fix, man. Everybody trying to go to this one dealer, what they trying to do to get some drugs or whatever, whatnot. Those people that's on them drugs, man, they gonna be trying to get drugs before they trying to get some food, man. And just think about these fiends over here trying to beat in people's doors and stuff, trying to steal stuff, trying to get some drugs from here and there, man. People gonna be ripping people babies apart and stuff like that just to get some drugs and alcohol because of the withdrawals, man. Let alone the regular people and the bread. Go ahead, Ak, you got it.
Hey, Rick, just want to say this real quick. When they first, that crack was first out there like that, they did a study. You know how they do the lab rats and shit? Well, they said the lab rat desired the crack more than it desired the cheese of the food. So, when they do the test, how the rat go this way or go that way, and say the rat desired that crack more than the desire that damn food.
And they put that crack in the damn Popeye's chicken sandwich, So people especially gonna be roused up this time because there's damn drugs in the food, And that's what's really rousing the people up. It tells you the cheap thing for life is bread, water, and clothes and house to cover. Shame. That's why people are getting roused up because they're losing their lifestyles. Yeah. That's why people are gonna start killing each other.
I got a quick precept too. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9. Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 19. Oh no, that's not it. Give me a second.
All right, I got a quick one real quick. Lamentations 4, verse 9. I got it.
Wrong chapter. Jeremiah 19, verse 9. All right, going into cannibalism. All right, this is Jeremiah 19 and 9. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat slaughter. That's what.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that happened in the ancient Babylon, and guess what? That happened in the daughter of Babylon as well.
That's right.
And it happened in 70 AD. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not far fetched. That's why the spirit is heavy on this food shortage, man. Because there's an actual famine coming, man. All right. And real quick, before I continue, I want to bring this out real quick. This is an article from the Trumpet. All right, and it was posted August. It says 4 reasons famine is coming to America. It says the struggles that farmers face today will soon affect us all. Okay. And I'm gonna jump right to the point. It's a pretty lengthy article. I read through it when brothers was going in. This is the point. It says millennia ago, the Bible foretold that in the end time, American crop failures would escalate into famine. It says recent events evoke these prophecies, and they could factor into and accelerate the prophesied arrival of the worst agricultural crisis in United States history. All right, so it's evident that.
Did we not just basically say that, bro?
That's John's second chapter. We're putting spirit upon all flesh, and that they may prophesy.
Yeah. So in the point of this, it says recent events evoke these prophecies. So what? The Lord is speeding these things up. All right, because Jake don't know what, like Ash was saying, Jake don't know what the fuck is going on until it said his door, man. But this the crop failure is going on rapid, man. I was looking into another article out there, and the brothers going in on the wine, man. All right, out there in California, in the Midwest, they said they having the biggest shortage in history, man, because of the grapes. All right, the certain products that they use to have this wine, they running out, man. All right. And go back to Jeremiah 19, verse 9, and I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters. And the Lord said he's going to cause this to happen, man. Mm-hmm. All right, and this is why he said, I will put my words in thy mouth, and it shall burn these people, man. All right, they shall be as wood, because this is what we're doing. We're burning your spirit, man. This is actually spiritual burning you, man. All right, because you can try to deny it all day, but when it come to pass, then shall you know that a prophet was among you, man. You can't escape the words of Yahweh Shai.
Hey, I got a quick preset to go with along with what you're talking about as far as the shortage in food and all that stuff. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. It says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown."
Mm-hmm. So we'll keep going. She finish that slide.
The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
There you go, man. So them grocery stores, man, because that's the storehouses. The modern day storehouses is what? The grocery stores. That's where you go to get the food that's been stored up.
Yep.
All right. And go ahead. You got it.
Real quick, the sown places appear unsown. Talking about them farms.
Yep.
Yep. They sown the seeds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, and say this too. Hey, what you can get. The grocery store is not even the storehouses; those just the distributors.
Mm-hmm.
they just distribute the food. There was not even a storehouse. The storehouses, they get the grocery stores get their food from the storehouses, man. So the grocery store is just the middleman.
And the warehouses, yeah.
Yeah, that's just the middleman.
Hey, you keep reading on that, Mayum. The next couple of verses on it.
This is verse 23. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hears, they shall be suddenly afraid.
Just going into that warning, basically the warning letting you know that what's going on. That trumpet is being sounded now, but when the true, like basically there's no turning back. When that trumpet sounds, then yeah, everybody's gonna be afraid. When there's no food, all right, when there's no electricity, when it's complete disorder, then everybody's gonna be afraid. Whether you a mighty man or whether you're just a regular woman or child, everybody's gonna be afraid out there. Read the next verse.
Okay. Verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies.
Yeah, man. That's like brothers was going into early in the second Esdras. Your friend, your neighbor, you're gonna fight against one another like you're hardcore rivals, enemies. Because he got that and you need that, and he knows you got it and he needs it. So guess what? It's gonna be a war on the block. Your best friend, your friend for 15 years, you're gonna be like enemies with that man. You're not gonna look at him as a friend no more. You're gonna look at him as a threat. Okay, that's how it is. This is what's prophesied in the Bible. This is what we've been telling you about. This is what our elders have been telling us about. All right, and we're trying to give you the warning so you can be in the right spirit when that day comes. And that day is right around the corner, bro. Go ahead.
It says, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run.
That springs of the fountain goes into this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we're pushing up. You ain't gonna hear that no more.
Hey, my young, what where you at?
2 Ezra 6 and 24.
Oh, okay, kind.
Yeah, no, for you. Yeah, there ain't gonna be no more knowledge being poured out no more. All right, that tap is gonna be turned off. That running waters, that living waters is gonna be turned off. That's why when you go into the book of whatchamacallit, Amos. Talks about, the famine of the word. That's exactly what's gonna happen when all hell breaks loose. You're not gonna be able to find comfort. You're not gonna be able to find truth anymore in a broken world. And this is what's prophesied to come. A world that's just going to completely fall apart and shatter. All order is going to turn into disorder, and it has to be like that before the true order is set, which the new world order, the true new world order, which is Yahweh Shai coming back. But first and foremost, what is going to be the whole country is going to be divided. All right, and we're not talking about Republicans and Democrats. That's happening right now. We're talking about this man versus man, people against people. Well, one people will fight against another people with swords in their hands.
What's up, brother?
You got it. No, you got it.
Yeah, I think it froze. Battery might have died.
Oh, the brothers?
Yeah, it's just because they're frozen. But yeah, I just removed. But go ahead. Keep reading where you was at.
Gone. So verse 25 says, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the
That's
end.
Right. Read that one more time, bro.
2 Ezra 6 and 25. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world.
Right. So those people who are going to remain, so whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape. So what he's been telling us, he's telling us about nothing but bad things, perilous times. So the ones that remain are going to be the ones that are going to see salvation ultimately, the elect. All right, that's what the Lord keeps talking about. He had, is great. He's going to keep his grave going to be kept. That's talking about his elect. They're not going to be touched. They're going to be fine. All right. It says what shall see my salvation at the end of your world. So so the elect is going to see salvation in the end of this world. All right, this world that, when you go to second Ezra chapter 8 verse 1, it says, I'll get it right now. It says second Ezra 8:1, it says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world become for few. All right, and that few is the ones that are going to be remaining from the peril that's about to come upon the earth real soon. All right, in the coming, what it looks like the coming months. That's how serious this is getting.
Yeah.
What the Bible is talking about is looking like what it's talking about is coming is should be here in the next coming months, and we should be out of here really soon. That's what the Bible is saying. That's what the times are telling us. When you go into 2 Corinthians chapter 9, it says you got to measure the time diligently, and what the times are showing us is that we in the end days. This is the last days, and you got to drop your boots up. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is like the brother's going into. This is the words that are going to consist of these last days. It don't get no clearer than this. This is Jeremiah 16 verse 4. They shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth.
Because what? They didn't want to heed to the instructions. They wanted to continue to play games. So what? No one's gonna lament them. No one's gonna bury them. All right, they're just gonna be left out here to die and be food for be worm food, be bird food. That's what's gonna happen to you people out here. The majority of the people out here, that's your fate, and that's nothing. We laugh and we joke about it sometimes, but it's really not funny, because this is what we're trying to avoid by doing this little things that we do. We put these little videos up, and we go into these lessons for you. We learned the lessons from other men. Okay, we're doing this for salvation's sake. We're doing this for the elect's sake. For the elect's sake. All right, we're doing this to get the hell out of here. Because as soon as we get the last person sealed through the Spirit, guess what? The Lord will go ahead and wrap this thing up for us and save His elect and destroy the assholes out here, which is the rest of you people out here. The Lord He ain't gonna have no mercy on you regular people. You're gonna have mercy on His elect and His elect only. While everybody else is either going to get put to death, or if you're a heathen, get put into slavery. No mercy. The mercy is strictly for his people, His elect. Salvation is strictly for the elect of Israel. All right? You got it, Akim. You got it, brothers.
All right, so let's go back to let's go back. Yeah, Dawud, you still got that second Ezra 16 or 15? Go back to that.
Con, this is second Ezra chapter 15 and verse I think we stopped at verse 19. I'll read that one again. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread for great tribulation. It says, behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are before.
Actually, jump down to where's it at? I mean, I think that was it on that.
Hey, read that 19 again, bro.
Yeah.
Second Ezra 15 and 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Let me read this out. Book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 16. All right. Going into the last days again. It says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. All right. Going into, the potential hell that could happen to anybody on the streets. All right. Children getting put to death. Your house, it says your house is, what does it say again? It says, their houses shall be spoiled, their wives ravished. Okay. Going into your house, taking your spoils. All right. And your woman, your wife, your girlfriend, or whatever the case may be, your daughters or whatever, taken before your eyes. This is in the Bible. Like this is what the Bible's talking about. It's not talking about anything nice. This is what we're trying to warn you about, so you get right in the eyes of the Lord, and just maybe He might have mercy on you. But if you're out here just being a regular ass American, then guess what's going to end up happening to you? Your house is going to be a spoil unto demons, and then ultimately you're going to be put to death. That's a horrible way to die. That's a terrifying way to go. Here it is, you live in life in America, you living it up, everything's fine, and then all of a sudden the dollar collapses, you start losing all your money, everything, your house, your lights go out, you're trying to do everything you can to feed your family's starting to, get hungry. Then all of a sudden the whole America just shuts down. And then what happens? A bunch of assholes break into your house with guns and knives and kill your family, kill your children, and rape your wife, and then put you to death. And then take everything that's worthwhile, they take it from your house. That's a terrifying way to go. And that's the prophecy.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Hey, Dawada, if you can jump to the next chapter and start the 18th verse.
It's 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18. It says the beginning of sorrows and great the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars.
These things are going to be the beginning of sorrows, great mourns, the beginning of famine and great death, man. So these things that we've been reading, man, this is just how can I put it? This is just a description of what you're going to see, because it's going to get a lot worse. This is going to be the beginning, and then you're just going to have to experience everything to see the rest of the story. Okay, this is just the beginning of great death. The description is a great death, the beginning of famine, beginning of sorrows. Did not Yahweh say when you hear of wars, rumors of wars? All right, this is just the beginning. Go ahead, bring it out.
I got St. Matthew's 24, verse 7. Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Yes.
For a nation.
Okay. Yeah. So this is that the end is not yet. Meaning this is the beginning, man. So hey, man, it's gonna be so bad out here, man. All kind of things going on. Tribulation. Okay. Great mournings. Great death. Famine. Beginning of sorrows. The beginning of famine. Meaning a lot of the scripture tell you there be more that die by the famine. No, it's better to die by the sword than by famine. All right. I'm pretty sure there is a scripture, another one, but read that again, that verse again, Art.
St. Matthew's 24, verse 6.
Oh.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Kind of. Somebody speak real quick. Let me look for this one precept I want to grab.
Lamentations 2:9. Lamentations 2:9.
Yeah, that's one. That's a good one, but that's not the one I'm looking for. If you got to bring it out though, that's a good one.
I get it real quick.
Okay.
Let me get the scripture.
Go ahead, brother.
Lamentations chapter 2, verse 9. Or is that it? Lamentations chapter. I'm sorry, brothers. Go ahead. I thought that's not it. I gotta find it. Go ahead, brother.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8 verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that are in the latter times shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Hey, just going back into what the brothers are going into, man. Great misery is gonna befall these people, man, because they're just walking in their ignorance, man, and their pride, man. All right, and we telling you with all these things that are coming to pass, but what people still just scoff and walking after their own vain imaginations, man.
Yeah, they don't want to hear the words of the prophets. They want to hear the words of damn TV show, man.
I got 4:9.
Yeah, 4:9. I said 2 and like a dumbass. Yeah. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 9. It says, "They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. You pine away, man. You just slowly fade. You know, you pine away. Your body's just slowly just breaking down because you ain't got no food. Your stomach is eating itself. Your body, your muscles are getting turned into food and proteins for your body to eat, so you can't walk and talk. And then eventually, what has happened? You starve to death because of the lack of food. Because someone broke in your house and took all your food. Here it is. You got a whole bug out bag set up, a whole prepper shit. You finally get home, and all that shit has been raided. You ain't got nothing. And now what's gonna happen? You're gonna go out and try to look for food. And somebody probably knocks you up, beats the shit out of you, and now you injured and then hungry. What's gonna happen? It's gonna end up happening. You're gonna pine away. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. It says a lot of people are gonna die of famine. A lot of people are gonna die of famine. It's not like just a few people were selected for the famine. No, lots of people, millions and millions of people are gonna die of famine. That's the worst way to die. What did it say? It said that it's better for you to die by the sword, man. It says better for you to get someone just come and run a sword to you, thrust through you with a sword, because that's a quick death. Yeah, it's painful, but it's quick. You die in a matter of minutes or seconds. But to die of hunger or famine, hey man, that means the Lord hates your guts. That means you were the worst in the eyes of the Lord, and you did something bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, good way to put it.
Right? As the Lord hates your ass, man.
Yep.
I got a scripture. And you know what? Dawada, you was reading. It's in the same chapter as what you were reading. So read what you were reading, and then maybe skip down in a minute.
Going back to what, 2 Ezra 16 or 2 Ezra 8?
16.
16, yeah.
Con. This is 2 Ezra 16. I'm gonna go to we were at verse 12, I believe, right?
No, you read 18. Read 18 again.
No,
read
verse 18. Yeah. Hey, Con, actually, I want to start at verse 17. It says, because you got to think this is Ezra is writing this, so these people understand how serious the things that we read in. All right. He say, "Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?" And this is a righteous man saying this, man. So how much more the rest of these people out here who just laugh and scoff all these things off, man? All right. In the very next verses where we were just reading it, verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? It says, verse 19, behold, famines and plagues, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
God, you go into the word amendment is it means pretty much change or correction. It says are sent for scourges. What happened to the Lord? He got scourged. I mean, these are whippings what's a better word? The whippings, man. The Lord's bringing these ass whippings for what? For correction, man. First and foremost, for his people, the 2/3, because he's not trying to correct the heathen at this point in time. He's gonna correct them when we got plenty of time to do that. But what this is for mainly is called the time of Jacob's trouble. It ain't called the time of the heathen's trouble or the time of the world's trouble. It's called the time of Jacob's trouble. So when it said the scourges for amendment, this is mainly for our people, man, so they can get right, man. That's why they got to know death by pain, and they gonna come back in the kingdom of heaven, knowing, all right, we fucked up. And that's why Scripture says some shall wake up to everlasting shame. Go ahead.
What is it? Shame, everlasting pain and contempt or salvation. Hey, David, do a solid and skip down to verse 37.
Con, let me see. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pain, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
Right, you're talking about childbirth.
Even so,
Well, real quick, yeah. Talking about childbirth, man, and you know, you deal with a woman, and she gives birth. You know, that that's a painful act. That's a painful experience for a woman to push out a child like that out of her womb. And it says when the baby comes, there's no pushing it back. There's no stopping it. All right, and that's the same thing. How these plagues that the Lord has been talking about, all these scriptures we've been bringing out, when they start happening, there's no stopping it. All right, it's like giving birth to a child. You know, there's no, all right, hold on. No, you can't hold it back. It's time for the baby to come out. And so it's the same thing with these plagues. Once the first one happens, it's going to be a domino effect. And then this plague is going to lead to the next plague, which is going to lead to the next plague, which is ultimately going to lead to your front door. Go ahead, brother.
This is verse 39. It says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
Every side. There's going to be sorrow on every side. And it's not just going to be in America. It's going to be specifically in America, because this place is ripe for that kind of judgment. But it's going to, as you see, it's been taking place on all four corners of the globe. It's been happening there first before it happens here. And and when it happens here, everything's going to shut down, because the United States of America is the mecca of everything. It's the brain of the whole world. So if this thing gets screwed up, then the whole world is going to get screwed up, and the whole world is already screwed up. So wait till this place falls. All right, it's gonna, like I said, it says the world shall mourn, man. You know, the whole world's going to mourn. You know, and that goes back into Proverbs chapter 29, because the wicked is in power. When the wicked is in rule, the people mourn. That's what's going to happen, and that's what's been happening. It's been happening, all types of calamities and sedition, you know, and just a mad world. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, real quick, it slipped my mind a little earlier when the brother Ash was talking about this is Jacob's trouble, not really for the heathens. You know, there's a scripture that says we was going to possess the heathen and rule them with a rod of iron. So really, that's going to be our task, to get them in order and everything like that, just to back that brother up on that. But
I mean, so like
real
quick, the heathen aren't going to go through it, but it's called Jacob's trouble, because this is for our people, because our people ain't going to go through no troubles in the kingdom, you know, just to clarify.
Our final judgment. But
next verse.
Also, go ahead.
I'll just say, read the next verse. Oh, go ahead. I'm Kanakla.
Before we go past Ash made earlier, I wanted to hit this quick scripture. This is the brother spoke on how, you know, it's Jacob's trouble. It's for Jacob's correction. You know, the heathen, they just gonna get jacked up, man. You know, that's just judgment. Who cares? You know, they just gonna get caught away in judgment. But far as this is just Jacob's correction, Jacob's trouble. All right, but that's really who it's for. The heathen, whether they live or whether they die, you know, the Most High is not really concerned about that. This is 2 Ezra 8, verse 13. It says, "And thou shalt mortify it as thy creature, and quicken it as thy work. If therefore thou shalt destroy him which with so great labor was fashioned," all right, talking about Israel, "it is an easy thing to be ordained by the commandment that the thing which was made might be preserved." All right. "Now therefore, Lord, I will speak touching men in general." Now this is Ezra saying, listen what Ezra says. He says, "Now therefore, Lord, I will speak touching men in general." He said, "Thou knowest best." So Ezra's like, thou knowest best. Like, touching man in general, thou knowest best. Like, because Ezra's don't know what's going to happen to the other nations, men in general. It says, "But touching thy people, for whose sake I am sorry." All right. Ezra said, he says, "I will speak touching man in general, thou knowest best." Like, you know, who cares? Like, Lord, you know, I don't know, but as touching thy people, okay, "for whose sake I am sorry, and for thy inheritance, for whose cause I mourn, and for Israel, for whom I am heavy, and for Jacob, for whose sake I am troubled," man. So Ezra saw these things get ready to take place, right? He saw the judgments, woe is me, as we read. He saw the sedition amongst men. he saw the house is spoiled. And he said, listen what he said. He said, now therefore, Lord, I speak touching men in general. Like he said, y'all know what's best, touching men in general. But he said he feels sorry for the sake of Israel, man. He's heavy. You know, I just want to bring that out real quick to touch on the point the brother made.
Yeah, that's heavy. Good, Dawada.
Con, I think that might have been it in that, but I can go read down one more. It says,
where you at?
Salak. This is
Well, go Salak. Go jump
Second
back.
Ezra 6.
Go jump back up to go back to 19 again, because this is going back to what the brothers read. This is for the people Israel. You know, read that again, Baba Khanakla, where you just read that verse you just read.
It's breaking up over here. You asked me to read it again.
Con, yeah. You hear? You good?
All right, yeah, it's just skipping on this side. It might be Calm's phone that's jacking up. But I'll read. You want me to get to the point?
Yeah, just get straight to that point. Yeah.
Con, this second Ezra 8 verse 15. It says, "Now therefore," well, let me just read one verse up. It says, second Ezra 8 and 14. It says, "If therefore thou shalt destroy him which with so great labor was fashioned, it is an easy thing to be ordained by the commandment that the king which was made might be preserved. Now, therefore, Lord, I will speak touching man in general. Thou knowest best. But touching thy people, for whose sake I am sorry."
Yeah, so for his people, that he's sorry, the Lord's people, which are the Israelites. Now read that second Ezra 16 and 19.
Con, this is second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 19. It says, "Behold, famine and plague." It says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment."
So who is the Lord trying to correct? Matter of fact, let's get that word. Let's get it. All right. Leave no stone unturned. All right. The word amendment. The word amendment says betterment.
Real quick, while you get that word.
I got. Go ahead though. You got a preset?
Yeah. Okay. Real quick. It says. Reading on. It says, "Therefore will I begin to pray before thee for myself and for them, for I see the falls of us that dwell in the land." This is verse 18. "But I have heard the swiftness of the judge which is to come."
Okay. So the it said, what it say? Failing the failing of them, meaning they fell short. Or did it say failing?
The fall
of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they fell short. All right. So here's the word for amendment. Where the brother just read, it said scourges for amendment. So scourges, if you don't know what scourges is, then I don't know what you've been reading. But this is the word amendment. It says betterment, improvement, correction, reformation. All right. Keep going. A couple more words. It says recertification, correction, advancement, improvement. So the Lord's going to send these amendment, the scourges for what are improvement, correction. The Lord correct whom he loves, right? He chastises whom he loves. So of course he's going to first and foremost chastise or correct those that the elect. But then ultimately he still loves the whole nation of Israel. You know, he loves some more than the other at this point, you know, but you know, those are the scourges for amendment. So you have to understand who this is for, because this isn't just a random book added into the Bible. This is Ezra, all right? Old Testament. So keep going. Dawada, keep going on that verse, verse 20.
Con, the second Ezra chapter 15 verse 20. "But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges."
That's right. So even though they're gonna experience this, they're not gonna be mindful of it. They're not gonna change from their ways. That's why the scripture tell you they shall know death by pain, because 2/3 of our people, which is the majority of our people, is not gonna get corrected. All right. How are they gonna get corrected? Through dying. All right. And again, brought back into the kingdom of heaven. All right. Being brought back through the man of the Lord. That's how they get corrected. Because what it said, but for all these things, and what things? It said famine, plague, tribulation, anguish. All right. And then prior to that, we read about the beginning of sorrows, great mourning, great famine, great death, the beginning of wars. I mean, these people, our people aren't going to learn from this, So, this is, this is for our people at the end of the day. And then you can even take that to the Edomites, which, the scriptures say, though they be shown favor, they shall not learn righteousness. So, there ain't no chance for Esau, all right? And there ain't no chance for the rest of the heathens because they weren't promised anything, man. Romans 9 tells you that, all right? But, just wanted to hit that on that point. Yeah, I know we veered off from the main topic, so I'll probably retitle America's Divided and various topics or something. But, really this does lead back into America's Divided because who are you going to have out there in those race riots? Yeah, these brute beasts, these niggas that don't. That's why it said, where is it at? It said, that great tribulation, anguish, beginning of wars. Hey, there's this thing called race wars. That's who you ain't gonna have no men of the Lord out there protesting, with picket signs and throwing Molotov cocktails at the police or fighting against the KKK. We gonna wait for the Lord, all right? When the Lord lift up that standard and He gives us that green light, then we'll be out there fighting for Him. But right now, we already fighting for Him with these scriptures. That the word of the Lord is sharper than any two-edged sword. Go ahead, Up. You got it, Up. Go ahead.
Hey, I got some.
You got it. Go ahead, Quan.
Good.
Oh yeah, it's breaking up bad. Lucky. But yeah, I got some because the brother Ash was going in on how these things are, these scourges, these amendments are for us to be reproved and corrected. But 2/3 of our people would never want to accept that correction, man. 2/3 of our people. That's why the scriptures say, "Why shalt thou be stricken anymore? You will be bought more and more." So the Most High, Yahweh Shai, told us to prophesy, but even if we prophesy unto the wind, because our people won't get it, bro. So that's why when all hell break loose, okay, we're not expecting you to come up to us and want to get right. We already know you niggas don't want to get right, bro. Okay, so that's why the Lord is leaving you out here to be destroyed. You see? Why? Because you will revolt more and more. This is 2 Ezra chapter 1. Verse 6. It says, because the sins of their fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me and have offered unto strange gods. Right? So Israel has forgotten Yahweh Shai, bro. So that's why when we do these lessons, we do these sit downs, we only doing this for the edification of the elect, bro. We're not worrying about 2/3 of our people because they've forgotten the Lord. Verse 7, and I am not, it says, am I not even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage? But they have provoked me unto wrath and despised my counsels. Right? So 2/3 of our people provoke the Most High Yahweh Shai to wrath. And that's what we're going into, man. Okay, these are the destruction, the famine, these things that's coming. All right, that's why the brother brought out in 2 Ezra, the 8th chapter. These things are coming to 2/3 of our people, man. The Lord is getting ready to divide the 2/3 of our people by having them kill each other. All right, rape their women right in front of them, man. Okay, your best friend gonna be your enemy. That's the wrath of Yahweh Shai on 2/3 of our people. Okay, and who is he going to use? He's going to use his own people to do it, man. Okay. It says, verse 8, pull thou off then the hair of thy head and cast all evil upon them, for they have not been obedient unto my law, but is a rebellious people. It's the point. How long shall I forbear for them unto whom I have done so much good? So the Lord said, how long shall he forbear with the nation of Israel to whom he have done so much good, bro? The Lord have constantly raised up prophets, okay, and prophesied and told you to get right and repent, just like he did. It's like why Yahweh Shai said, there shall be no sign given unto them, but the sign of Jonas the prophet, man, which was what to condemn that kingdom and tell them to repent, or the Lord was going to destroy them. Okay, why should the Lord keep forbearing with Israel, seeing they will not get it, man? So what? He made a sanctuary. All right, it was going to call on his name and have faith into the end. And 2/3 he's getting ready to do away with. That's why in the book of 2nd Ezra it says, let the multitude perish that was born in vain, man. All right, but consider how the righteous shall be saved. We're only concerned about the elect and how we're going to be scarcely saved out of the destruction and the amazance of our salvation, man. Okay, because good things is coming to the elect. All right, but 2/3, look, fuck them, man. They didn't care about the Lord, so the Lord said, what? Let their blood be upon their children, man. Okay, because they asked for that, man. They didn't want to believe in him now or then, so how much more would they want to believe in him now? Okay, so that I just want to, bring that out, brothers.
If I can, I got a quick one, real quick. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12, verse 25. Therefore unto them as to children without the use of reason, thou didst send a judgment to mock them. So this judgment is getting ready to come to 2/3 on people. 2/3 on people is going to be mockery. That's why he said, I shall laugh when your fear coming. It's verse 26. But they that would not be reformed by that correction, wherein he dallied with them, shall feel a judgment worthy of the Most High. Because it says, as the Most High is, he's a power and judge of mercy, and he's the same with his correction. He judges a man according to his works. And the works of our 2/3 on people is wickedness, so that's why wickedness is going to be their end by a great evil destruction.
I got a quick one if somebody don't got anything.
Good.
All right. This 2nd Ezra 1 verse 32. Thus said the Almighty Lord, it's like it. 2nd Ezra 1 verse 32. I sent unto you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, saith the Lord. Going back, the Lord is going to require that, and then even Yahweh Shai, I believe, spoke of it in the New Testament. What is it? Luke 11 chapter, if I'm not mistaken. All right, the Lord is going to require the blood, all right, of the prophets from 2/3 of our people right now today, man. All right, and in 2019, this 21st century, all right, 2020, whatever else long year, the Lord is going to require the blood of the prophets, man. Are you slain and torn us in pieces? Okay, now it's your turn. All right.
That's right. That's why the scourges and amendments are waiting for the.
Hey, I got
it.
Go ahead, brother.
You got it, bro.
Well, my precept is going back into this off the 2nd Ezra. I was gonna read that again and then hit a precept off of that. So if you got something else, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, finish your thought, Quan.
Oh no, that was it. I was saying that's why going back into the judgment that's coming, it's for the wicked. It's for 2/3 of our people and ultimately Esau, Edom. That's why the scriptures say, "Throw hands on the hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished." So ultimately, like the brother I said, we veered off a little bit from the topic, but this all goes into it. This is the dividing, man. This is the division, because what? 2/3 of our people, they're going to cleave unto the spirit of Egypt. They're going to cleave unto Esau, Edom. So guess what? They're going to be destroyed right with them, man. And this division is taking part.
Okay? Because they're going to be kind of like you said. They're going to be part of that division. They're going to be part of the brute beast out there fighting against, the government. They're going to be the brute beast fighting against this, in the Civil War. They're going to be those niggas out there, man. Somebody got to play the nigga role, and it's going to be the 2/3, man.
Right.
Hey, the division against the righteous and the wicked.
Yep. Yeah, that's the main division.
Yeah.
Here it is. America's being divided. Esau against Esau, Satan against Satan. But the main division are the sheep from the goat, so to say, the wheat from the chaff, is the righteous and the wicked, man. And guess what? 2/3 of our people happen to fall into that category right now of the wicked.
That's right. That's right, bro.
Real quick.
That's why the scriptures say. Oh, you got it, bro.
No, you good, brother. Real quick, just to cover that. 3 John 1 verse 11. 3 John 11 verse, it says, "Beloved, follow not that which is evil, but that which is good. He that doeth good is of God, but he that doeth evil is not seen of the Most High." So that's the division right there. You follow the good, because there's only good and evil on this earth. There's nothing in between. You're either with it or you're not. You're against it. And the Lord is only dealing with those that are with him. Go ahead, Quan.
Khan, this is Amos 9 and 9 going into the division, all right, because like the brother I said, it was beautiful. We're going into the righteous dividing against the evil, and you pretty much saying the same thing. You know, the Lord, there's only good and evil, man. So Jake got to make a decision. This is the decision that our forefathers had to make concerning Moses. All right, in Deuteronomy 18 chapter, the 15th verse, where it said, "Choose ye this day who you will serve. Choose life, all right, and choose righteousness that thou shalt live. Or if you choose evil, all right, what you're gonna die." Okay, and that's because what? There's nothing new under the sun. That's the whole thing, the agenda with Yahweh Shai. Choose life, choose the way of Yahweh Shai, okay, which is the only mediator between the Most High and men, all right, or get cut off, all right. So this is Amos chapter 9, verse 9. "For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations." And that's what Yahweh Shai is doing, all right, because the precept above says his eyes is upon the sinful kingdom, which is ultimately, all right, is that sinful kingdom, man. Okay, and that's why we were divided between the northern and the southern kingdom, going back into the split in Jeroboam and Rehoboam, all right? And since that day, Jake been going to fuck off, bro. Okay? So what the Lord said, he's going to sift the house of Israel. And in Malachi, the 3rd chapter, the 18th verse, it says, "Then shall you return and discern between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not." All right? So the Lord is showing you the division of the righteous, all right, and the division of the wicked. That's why you have all these different camps. And what if the Most High is not dealing with you? If you don't hear that voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk ye in it," you're going to be led into a ditch, all right, which is ISUPK, all right, because they're not telling you the prophecies, all right, or IUIC, all right, which is a big get together under Christ, okay, or and so forth and so on. The division of righteousness and wickedness is right before your face in the land of the nation of Israel, man. All right. It says, finishing off, it says, "And I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the seed. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword." So that's right. After the Most High sifted, all right, 2/3, all right, is getting ready to die by the sword. And what is the sword of the Most High? The wicked, man. Okay, so that's why we're going into the judgment that's coming down, Revelations 12 and 12, all right, with great wrath, because he knows that he have a short time. So the Lord is going to pull out that sword, which is Esau, all right, and hew down 2/3 of our people, man. Okay, all right. And it says, "Would say that evil shall not overtake nor prevent us." Right, and that's the thoughts of 2/3 of our people, that this evil that we're talking about, we out there in the corners, all right, and we're prophesying, 2/3 of our people say in their heart, "Man, this shit ain't coming." You know, what the fuck are these niggas talking about? Black Jesus? You know, or they think that this sign shall be prolonged as it is in Ezekiel 16 chapter. Why does Israel have this proverb that these visions are prolonged? He said, "But it shall be shortened in your days," man. And that's what's going on, all right? You know, but that's it.
Anybody got something? I got a quick one.
Go ahead.
It's Revelation 18 and Salaki. Hey, where the scripture at where it says "come out of her, my people"?
20.
18 and 4. 18 and 4. There it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
18 and 4. Quick division. This going to division as well. It says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers." Because when you partake in something, you're a part of it, right? But the Lord is calling the righteous, all right? It says, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues." So separate yourself from this place, man. That division. Once again, going to the good and evil. Come out of her. Because look, I'm finna judge the wicked. I'm finna judge the evil, and you the good. So come out of that. Separate yourself from this place, man. And that's once again going into that division, man. Okay? Separating the good and the evil. Go ahead.
Going back to what we read, Salakia, real quick, going back to what we read in that, I think it was in the book of Luke, how the Lord's not coming to bring peace, he's coming to bring division. And we used it for that, the division in America. But, so how much more for this truth, man? The Lord's dividing. Even from your own household, man. Even it could very well be you get divided from your own household, but what really from the rest of the world, man? The ungodly, the Lord's the separating or dividing the godly from the ungodly. You know, go ahead, Mayakala. Yeah,
That's right.
yes, on
No.
No, I can't.
Okay.
We can't really hear it. It's something skipping on this side. Like the brother paused for a second.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I thought Mayakala had something. If not, you can go ahead and close
No,
out.
I was
Hey,
just saying about.
Well, real quick, just to tie this all back up. I wanted to read, just because like your brothers was going into that, I want to read back in 2 Ezra 16 verse what was that, 19 and 20, and I got a precept off of that just because like you're talking about this division of what's going to happen. The Most High is doing this for an amendment for us to change. All right. So reading back in 2 Ezra 16 verse 19 and 20, it says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment." All right. So for our correction, right? But for all these things, it says, "But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges." Talking about, going into that division of 2/3, they're not going to turn back, Now I want to back that up with this here precept in Revelation 16 and 10. It says, "And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain, and blasphemed the Most High of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds." Like when these things start coming down upon Babylon and things like that, it's not going to come into the minds of our people, even though that we out here constantly telling them, look, Babylon's finna go down for all their wickedness and things they doing, but you want to keep cleaving unto Babylon, bro, you're going to wind up catching her same judgment, And this is why, these people are going to start mourning and gnawing their teeth, because why? The more and more wickedness they're going to be doing, the more and more the Most High is going to be bringing them to destruction, Just like now, they may be getting their judgment on a light level because, the Most High is giving them time to come back, But it's going to get worse and worse and worse. All right, y'all don't want to listen. Now you got to go through this here famine, and hey, you better pray, first you're going to go through the sword. You better pray you die in the sword, but then you're going to go into the famine. And you don't want to make it through all these different ways because why? At the end all be all, you're going to meet them damn missiles, man. You would hate that to make it through all of that and see all that tribulation and all that just to meet a missile at the end all be all, But just to, bring that all the way around, going back to that amendment, that's going to be that full separation. We always was wicked, you know what I'm saying? But we repented and we came back into the Lord so we can be saved, But the rest of our people, they're going to have to learn, the rest after death by pain, as the scripture says, man.
And we'll close out on this.
That was it.
We'll close out on this. This is 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 11. "And they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them." So going to show you this is only for the nation of Israel, Ezra was talking about. All right. "When as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain." And here's the point. This is the main point. "And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created." So that's the point. That's what we worried about. We're not worried about these niggas. All right, niggas spicks tontos. We ain't worried about the heathens. We out here for the elect. We preach this word in hopes to be part of the elect. All right, to find the rest of the elect. All right, the scripture talk about 144,000. We hope to be part of that number, man. We want to be part of that number, man. We looking for you, brothers, man. We out here like the Yahweh Shai said on the Peter and Andrew, man. I will make you fishers of men. That's what we out here doing, man. Jeremiah 16:16. "I was sent for many fishers." We hope to be in that stead, man. We're not worried about no fucking crawfish. All right, no lobsters. We're looking for fish. All right, lawful fish. We're looking for those that meet for repentance, fruit meet for repentance. All right, and as far as for the ungodly, the hell with you, man. That's the mind state you should be in. I don't give two shit. If like the apostles always say, if a nigga can't get it, we moving on. All right. And if you can't see that this place is finished, America's divided, the whole world is divided. All right. Esau's kingdom, his whole kingdom, the beast system. All right. Is the beast itself is divided. Then guess what? We're not going to be curious of what's going to be the end of you. We trying to get our salvation. We trying to worry about how the righteous going to be saved. Romans 3:3 is all I got to say about that. All right. So with that, Lord's willing, this was edifying and exhorting to Akim out there pushing out his word in true sincerity, and to whomsoever needs to hear these words of Yahweh Shema Shai, man. All right. So we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh.
The
elder apostles, great millstone. Shalom. Stay strong, Akim. We almost out of here.
So
Peace.